Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Now and Then Some podcast with Robin and Kaley. I'm your host, Robin.
And I'm your other host, Kaley.
And here we talk about everything from now and then.
And then some.
That's right. So what are we talking about this week, Kale?
I got a couple things I need to discuss.
All right.
For my Houston sports team.
Woo! Go sports.
Yes, go sports. So I'll start quickly with the Astros. It's not baseball season, so nothing crazy, but we did have Michael Brantley retire on us.
Old Mike.
Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike.
That's what they call him, Uncle Mike.
Oh, wow.
He's like the serious uncle, but he'll smile like every now and then, and it is just like the cutest thing. Like it's just so much joy. It's really hard to find a picture of him smiling because he's just stoic, you know?
So is he a player?
He's a player. Played for us for a little while. He was solid. He was my favorite number, 23.
Mm-hmm.
He was very, very consistent. Had one of the best, like he just has the most beautiful swing.
Oh.
If you like that swing science kind of thing. I played softball my whole life, so I can appreciate it. But he retired, so.
That reminded me of that story, Swing the Rappy.
What?
Where, I think I told it on the pod, where my friend Maddie had a shirt that said swing.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
she read it, somebody had a shirt on that said swing therapy, and she was like, swing the Rappy.
That was the embarrassing stories. Yes,
Yes.
That's a good one. So he retired. So I just wanted to call that out that we'll miss you, Uncle Mike, but we appreciate all that you did for the Astros.
Love that.
Yep. And then my Houston Texans, this is the really exciting one.
Ooh.
We're going to the playoffs, baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we beat the Colts on Saturday to go to the playoffs. It was a win or die game.
Right.
You had to win or you weren't going to the playoffs.
Right.
We're going to the playoffs, and I'm feeling really good about it. We've got a rookie QB, CJ Stroud. We've got a rookie coach, D'Amico Ryans, and I love them both. CJ Stroud, I've recently found out had a really rough life growing up.
Oh, wow.
His dad was in prison for years.
Oh, my gosh.
I think he might be back in prison. His mom was raising him and his siblings. It was just, it's a sad story. Yeah. And I think it's really awesome for him that, he's made it to the big leagues and he's an awesome quarterback. He's been amazing. D'Amico Ryans, he played for us for the Texans back in the day. He played with J.J. Watt, actually.
Oh, wow.
And now he's our coach, and the players just love him.
That's so cool.
Yes, it's
what an
so
amazing thing to go back and coach your team in any sport, but the NFL.
Yeah, and Robin, here's the coolest part. He's young. Like, he played for our team pretty recently, right? Like, a lot of the coaches are, old men.
Yeah.
not ours. He's young, and so the players just, like, gravitate towards him. Mm-hmm. He is so smiley. Like, I think a lot of football coaches, too, are just, like, grouchy and, like,
crotchety old men.
Crotchety and pissed off all the time.
And they kind of play into it a little bit.
Yes, they're pissed off all the time. They're throwing fits. Like, don't get me wrong. He's competitive. He's in it. But he will smile. Oh, his smile. He's so dang cute. Like, I'll
have to look him up later.
You'll know what I mean when you see.
Okay. Who are they playing?
So we are going to play the Cleveland Browns at home.
Oh, okay.
So we're hosting them at home. It was a big win for us. Also, Robin, rookie QB and rookie coach, you don't go to the playoffs with that.
Right.
Like, that does not
very
happen.
Impressive.
So I never thought we would be here. No one thought we were going to be here, but we're here, and I'm super pumped, and I'm rooting for them.
Love that.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch football this weekend.
Really?
I was like, are we going anywhere to watch football? And my husband was like, nah, fantasy's over. I was like, okay.
So I watched the Texans on Saturday, and then Sunday, the Jags and the Titans played to see if we were going to be the division leader, or if we were just going to be in the wild card round.
Gotcha.
So it worked out that the Titans beat the Jags, and so we won the division, and that's why we get to have the home game.
Great.
So it actually worked out wonderfully for us.
Nice.
So I watched some football.
When is the next game?
We play Saturday.
Okay, Saturday.
So when this comes out tomorrow at 3:30.
Cool.
So
maybe I'll watch it.
I'll be dialed in.
Nice.
I'm pumped.
Well, I did not watch football, like I said, because I was otherwise occupied watching something else.
Talk to me.
I watched.
Did she do it, folks?
The entire season or limited series of Daisy Jones and the Six.
Woo!
I can hear the people out there rejoicing.
Yes.
I just, Saturday rolled around.
Yes,
Robin,
what made this happen?
Lazy day in bed, and I was like, I just kind of want to watch something. Fire up the old smart TV, and I'm like, I have nothing else to watch.
I have no excuses left.
I know I'm going to like it. It's almost like a weird thing of like, I don't want anybody else to be right about how much I'm going to like it.
It's me, though.
I know.
Like
You and the rest of the world.
Well, screw everyone else, but like it's me
I
being
know,
right.
I know. And you know me really well, so you're like you're gonna love it. It's Finnick. Actually, the night before, I had watched some of the Hunger Games movies. I started on the second one, and I watched all of the second one. Yeah, I watched all of the second one and like half of the next one.
Yeah,
and then I looked at the clock, and it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, oh my god, go to sleep. So I was already in a Finnick kind of a mood.
Yep.
And I loved it. It was great. I binged it all in 2 days.
I'm telling you.
I have some thoughts.
Okay, well, I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll chat with you. And I've seen it twice all the way through, so I remember everything, so I can chat with you.
I mean, overall, good story. I know it was loosely based on some of Fleetwood Mac, et cetera, et cetera.
It's also based on a book.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I just thought, well, the book itself was kind of loosely based on Fleetwood Mac.
Correct.
I just thought some of it felt a little forced. Like just like a little like, this is this character. She is broken. They like drugs. He is married.
Well, that was the 70s.
I know, but it was just very like, I don't know what the word is. Like, not predictable, but they're at the news conference and they ask her what she's wearing. She's like, you would never ask Billy what he's wearing, and I'm not broken. But she's just so obsessed with him, couldn't get over him.
They had this unrequited love.
I know, and they had great chemistry. Their voices were absolutely incredible voices.
Come on, the songs, Robin?
Oh my gosh, the songs were amazing.
Well, like his wife even knew that they had that connection.
Right. But then she kind of needed to like get over it.
She needed to get over it. She needed to get over it. I'm with you.
If he was telling her that he wasn't going to cheat on her, and he didn't.
Right.
Except for the one time that he kissed her to get her to go sing, and then boy, did she sing.
She sang after that.
Yeah, I really liked the format of it and how we were seeing them later on. Casting choices were a little interesting, and then all of a sudden they're like not that much older, and all of a sudden they go from the childhood version of them to who they are playing the main role both in the 70s and 20 years later. So that was kind of interesting.
Not casting choices. You mean like...
No, casting choices for the actors who played the younger versions of themselves. I guess not casting choices, but when they switched and how they switched. Like...
You mean dressing them up as older? That was a weird...
No. I mean, when they had a different actor playing them younger, and they were kind of showing them like leading up to the point where they maybe started their first band. Like in the first couple episodes...
Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah,
I got you.
First couple episodes, there was like a younger version of each of them. But it wasn't that much younger. It was like a teenager.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, I don't know, 20 or something, and it's them.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really make them age over time, and they didn't make them look that convincing of 20 years later.
In the recorded
tapes.
Yes,
in the interviews.
Yeah.
So, but I loved it. Spoiler alert. I loved it at the end when you realize it's Julia.
Tell me you were crying, because I was
bawling.
Yes. Bawling.
Yes. I did not see that coming.
Me neither.
That she passed away from cancer because she was in the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I thought that was really cute at the end, how they, he goes and knocks on her door.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was bummed that it was a book and a limited series, because I think that would be really cool to do a season 2 with them in the 90s or whatever.
Come on, baby.
Uh-huh.
Give it to us.
I just want more. I have chills thinking about it. Just more duets.
Yes.
Their voices together.
So good.
Oh my gosh. So good. Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. So there you go.
I liked the band members too.
Yeah.
Like Karen, love me some
Karen. Was great.
Loved the brother.
Loved the
drummer. Was funny. Like
when he's like, Eddie, you suck.
Yeah.
At the end, then he's like, I don't know. I'm going to go like pop open $1,000 bottle of champagne. Maybe call my movie star girlfriend.
Yeah. I thought like the whole band dynamic was cool. And I think it's even cooler that before the show, they literally spent time together for a year as a band.
Oh, wow.
To get the chemistry so that when they shot the show, it would show and they could actually record these songs.
They did a great job.
So they literally went to band camp for a year before the show.
That's really cool.
Just to get comfortable with each other.
That's fantastic.
I've been,
yeah,
dug in on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad you watched it.
Yes, all because of you. Hold on, let me take a sip out of my
Yes, we have to talk about this.
Limited edition now and then some custom wine goblet thingy.
As will I. Shout out to Sis. So I unwrap my Christmas gift on Christmas morning, and I see this little tumbler, and when I opened it, it was just a yellow tumbler, and I was like, oh, nice, this little wine tumbler. I always need those.
Yeah.
And then I was turning it around, and I was like, oh, it's our logo.
It's our logo. It's like etched in there too. it accidentally made its way to the dishwasher, and it was perfectly fine because it's etched on there. It's not. It's like
It's not printed.
It's got like
etched.
a yellow coating on the outside, and then it's etched in to show the metal through for our logo, almost like a die cut. So
shout out, sis.
Shout out, sis.
I
Great
unwrapped
gift.
it and I went, oh no, Robin's gonna want one.
Yeah.
And then I sent a picture to Robin. She goes, I want one.
Yeah, I forgot about it too. Whenever it came in the mail, I was like, "What is this?" It's like monogram something. Yeah, I Venmo'd sis right away, and I was like, "Please and thank you."
Yep. So we're gonna sip our little wine out of these.
So I would give that, if I had to give it a grade, that we could rate each other's recs.
Oh, good.
I would give that a solid B+.
Ooh,
like a B++, like an 89.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take an 89. Yeah. Okay. So I took your rec and watched the entire season 1 of Traitors.
The Traitors.
The Traitors, sorry.
US version, right?
Yeah.
With Alan Cummings?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, he has accents and in Scotland.
He's Scottish, I think. Yeah. But that's the USA version. The one
I watched the USA
season
version.
2 is coming out today, Friday, if you're the day this comes out.
Beautiful, because I have my notes pulled up here.
Wonderful.
First thing, Alan Cummings comes on the show, and I'm like, it's Floop Floobly. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
He's the evil guy from Spy Kids.
Oh my gosh, he is.
Like literally the first, I was like, that's Floop Floobly.
Do you know that was filmed in Austin?
Spy Kids? I feel like I did hear that.
The director, I can't remember his name right now, Robert something. He is really good friends with Quentin Tarantino. His stepson went to high school with me. We were both in theater together, so we got to work on that movie.
Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Yeah, Floop Floobly was my first thought. I wrote it down because I was like, that's the guy from Spy Kids. So funny. Okay, first I'll say is I was in it.
Yeah.
And I need to say why I was so in it. There's multiple reasons. One is this show is so much like the game Mafia. If anyone knows the game Mafia, where you draw a card and you're either in the Mafia, a detective, a nurse, or a civilian. It's literally real life Mafia living in a freaking Scottish castle, a beautiful Scottish castle, trying to figure out who the Mafia is.
My daughter was like, oh, so it's like Among Us.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it's like Among Us, aka Mafia.
It's Mafia.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Mafia. I play with my family all the time. So in that regard, already hooked. Then I watch all of these reality TV shows. So Mama Sari is from Survivor. She's been on 4 seasons of Survivor.
I didn't know any of the Survivor people whenever I watched it.
Right. And I watched all of Survivor. So Mama Sari's on there. She's been on 4 seasons of Survivor. She's like one of the most iconic players out there. And so I was like, it's Sari. I love Sari. Then Cody Calafiore from Big Brother was on there. Stephanie from Survivor. Freaking Ari, The Bachelor. I watched that too. So it was just like the cast I'm in, you know,
and it was like regular civilians as well, right? For season 1, I can't remember. Like, were they all reality stars? Do you remember?
Oh, no, it was 10 and 10. So it was 10.
Yeah, this next one is all reality.
I know. I'm very excited. So it was like 10 civilians, which let me just tell you, if I like got there and saw all these reality stars, I would have fangirled so hard.
Yeah. I love Kate from Below Deck. She was always my favorite.
Any of the Bravo people, I was like,
but wasn't she funny how she was just kind of over it the whole time?
Okay, she was funny till she wasn't.
Yeah.
I was.
Then it was like, all right, just let her go.
Well, I was frustrated because I'm like, I'm just too competitive for the people that don't try. So that's where I got annoyed with her. I'm like,
that's fair. That's fair.
I understand this is your shtick, this is your personality, and like that's funny and all, but when you're not trying anymore and you're screwing over the house, I can't get down with that.
Yeah, when you're making it hard for other people to play their game just because you want to leave, like you are not being held behind a jail cell.
You're not going to hurt any of our feelings. Yeah. So that's where I got annoyed with her. So yeah, the cast. So it was like the Mafia of it, the cast. I was in.
Yeah.
Binge the whole thing in 2 days. I would love to get your thoughts on all of it.
It's been a while since I watched it. So you're going to have to remind me.
Okay. So the first part I want to talk about is earlier, like mid-season, where they turn on Cody Calafiore. So it's Christian is the other Mafia. So it's Sari, Cody, and Christian are the Moff. And Christian's just a regular guy, and Sari's Mama Sari. And then Cody Calafiore is from Big Brother. He won Big Brother.
And they were the traitors?
And they were the traitors.
Yeah.
Did I say they were the Mafia?
Yeah.
If I say Mafia, y'all know what I mean.
I think you said Moff.
Oh, I call them Moff. Yeah. You know me. I'm shortening things if I can.
Moff.
You know.
Patty Pie.
Yeah. You know I got nicknames. And so Cody was getting found out and he was doing some sketchy behavior. So Christian and Sari turned on him.
Gats to.
I agree.
You got
in the
to.
round table and voted for him and sent him out, because if they don't, then it shows that
why aren't you suspicious of them?
Why did everyone else vote for him but y'all didn't?
100%.
So you got to turn on your own mouth sometimes.
All of these shows are like that. I binged all, like I said, all of the mole shows too. It's like, even if you know something that you're not supposed to know, if everyone else knows it, even if you're not a traitor, like if you just are suspicious but they're your friend in real life and you don't want them to go home, it doesn't matter. It's a game. You got to get them out.
It's a game, Robin. Yeah. That's the other thing. Is some of these people take it too personally. Like, I get it. I'm a sensitive Sally. I can admit that. But we're playing a game. This is a game. This isn't kumbaya. This is a game to win money.
And it is. You are stuck in a house with no entertainment, no TV, no phone. All you can do is talk to one another.
Yes.
And so
you're going to build relationships. But when people get so upset and they're like sobbing, crying. I can't
understand it because I've never obviously done that before. But you got to remember you're on TV.
And it's a game. It's a competition show.
Game show.
Yeah. So glad we agree on that part.
Yeah.
Now, then when they recruited Ari to be the third traitor, oh, did I scream? I screamed. I was so excited that they chose Ari. Okay. So then it's the three. Now they're back up to three traitors, right? And they have to turn on Christian because Christian, I can't with him. They recruited Ari the night before to be in the traitors, right? He had the option to say yes or no. He obviously said yes, because if you say no, you're going to get killed off.
Well, in the Canadian one, I think they do one part where if you say no, you are murdered. Like you don't even get voted off. You're done. Yeah, that's your choice. You either go home or you become the traitor.
Why would you not just? Exactly. Also, if I'm getting offered to be a traitor, I'm taking the traitor spot.
Yeah.
Because you have more control.
Yeah, you can't die.
You can't die.
You can get voted off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Ari obviously says yes, right? Then Christian walks into breakfast and tells everyone, guys, I got offered to be a traitor last night, but I turned it down. In what world is that a good move? And he was like, I was trying to build the bond with the civilians that they would think that I was with them.
That's so sus.
What are they called?
The faithful.
Faithful. I was trying
to say townspeople.
I'm saying civilians like mafia. I was trying to build faith with the faithfuls that they, that we were all together. I was like, that was a dumb move. So as soon as he did that, Ari and Suri look at each other and they're like, gotta go, gotta cut the guy. You're done. So then they end up voting against him eventually.
Of course.
You have to.
Yeah.
So then it's Ari and Suri to the end.
Yeah.
And no one is suspecting Suri. Like, Suri is running the game. And let me tell you, not surprised. She did it on Survivor. Almost every single season. She was Mama Suri. Everyone trusted her. She had relationships with everyone. This is how this game runs. Not every single person's like, oh, it's definitely not Suri.
You should go on the season 3 if they let regular people on. Hey, maybe we'll be celebrities.
I would. What I would give.
Send this podcast to your friends so that we can get low-level success and recognition, and then Kaley can be on season 3 of The Traitors.
Yes, thank you.
If for no other reason.
Do you see how much excitement I have?
Yeah, you'd be great.
I'm in it. So I'm all in on Suri, but she's got Ari with her.
Yeah.
No one suspects Suri. So it gets down to the final 4, and how it works is they have to all unanimously agree to end the game. And if they're all faithfuls, they split the money. But if there are any traitors in their midst, then the traitors win the money.
All the money. So if there's only one left, that traitor wins all the money versus it being split amongst all of them if they are all faithful.
Right. So
it's very dramatic because they throw this little packet into the fire and it makes a different color.
So Ari goes first and he agrees to end the game because he's like, well, me and Suri are traitors. We're going to split the money, between the two of us.
Yeah.
These other two faithfuls are screwed.
Sorry about ya.
So in the game, then it goes to Andy in the game. Then it goes to Quentin in the game. It gets to Suri, and I already knew. I'm like,
vote again.
I go, Suri ain't ending this game.
I did feel bad for Andy because he was so nice. Am I thinking of the same guy?
No.
I'm thinking of Andy from The Circle. Never mind.
No. Well, Andy from this show was also very nice.
Oh, okay.
But I don't feel bad. I'm sorry. It's a game. So anyway, Suri's like, nah. And then Ari knew that she was going to rat him out because, again, Andy and Quentin were right under Suri's little wing. She had him right here. And then Ari sent himself home. He was like, I'm a traitor. I'm going to leave.
Wow, he fell on the sword?
He fell on the sword.
I do not remember that.
And so then they all vote to end the game because they think Andy and Quentin think they're 3 faithfuls. And they find out that Suri is a traitor and they both start bawling and they're hate her. And she takes all the money home. And I'm like, it's a flipping game.
It's a game.
And
You got played.
You got played. Now, what I wanted to ask you about, but you don't remember, so I don't know how
it
you
was
feel
a really, I think I watched it like right when it came out, so it could have been like a year ago.
Do you feel like that was fair of Suri to like put Ari out like that? And her reasoning was, well, one, you're playing the show Traitors, but
Right.
really because Ari got recruited about 2/3 of the way through the game.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to be a traitor the whole time. He didn't have to lie the whole time.
I agree with that.
I agree with it too. And she was getting ripped apart at the reunion.
Yeah.
And I looked up some stuff online. People were like, how could she do that? And I'm like,
if it was somebody who was an OG traitor with her, I would feel that same way. But if it's somebody that was recruited, could have chosen not to do it, chose to do it, like you're putting yourself in the situation to get traded.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. It would be hard for me to do that. I think at the end with a fellow traitor, it'd be hard for me.
Yeah.
But I have to respect her game.
Yeah. And when you start thinking about that kind of money,
$250K
after taxes.
Yeah, it goes down.
It's like either that's a nice chunk of change. I'm going to pay off some debts and like do some investing and maybe treat myself.
Yeah.
Or it's life changing.
Yeah.
When you split it up.
Yeah.
So I got to respect it. Plus, it's what the people want to see.
The people want to see it.
Give us what we want.
I have to respect it. And Suri ran the whole game. Yeah. Not once was her name even like brought up. Mm-hmm. People had no idea. She deserved the money. So go Suri. Traitors is awesome. I'm so excited for season 2 because I get to watch my man CT on there. There's actually like
a ton of people.
All of the Big Brother people, all of the Survivor people, all of the challenge people that are on there, which is like, I don't know, 80% of the cast. Yeah. So I'll be dialed in.
Yep. And it starts first 3 episodes. So we'll have something to talk about next week.
Yeah, so next week we'll give y'all a recap on the first 3 episodes. But oh my God. Good, right? It was wonderful.
Yay. I'm happy for us.
Okay. Great Rex for both of us.
Yeah. All right. Should we get to the and then?
And then. Okay, my and then.
Uh-huh.
Schoolhouse rock songs. Did y'all have the
100%?
Okay, do you remember any off the top of your head?
Yes, I sang one the other day and I looked at my 22-year-old friend that I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have no idea what that's from, do you?
Sing it.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Mine is that I first go to is the preamble of the Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility.
Clip it.
I can literally sing the whole thing. And I just burned in my brain the fact that I can recite the entire preamble to the Constitution because of this Schoolhouse Rock song.
Do you know that the state song?
Oh God, I used to know it. And I can get to a certain point.
Me too. I think I have a different version than everyone else. And I think it came from Animaniacs, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Alabama and Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, and Connecticut, and more, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, and Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, and Iowa, just 35 to go. Kansas and Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, good Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Montana, and Nebraska's 27, number 28, Nevada, next New Hampshire, and then I fall off. But
mine's not that.
But whenever I look up the Animaniacs song, it's similar, but it's not that. You know the one that everyone knows. I don't know why I know a different one.
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I don't know. Maybe
hopefully somebody was out there singing along with me.
With yours.
Let me know if you
Mine's
were.
Definitely not that one. Yeah, the Schoolhouse Rock songs burned into my brain.
They were so good.
The other one that's burned into my brain is the shot heard around the world was the start of the revolution. For the American Revolution.
I can picture the animation style.
Yes, me too.
My friend Michael he went to Baylor and he did a musical that was like the Schoolhouse Rock musical.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
Did they sing all those songs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
It was great.
I love that.
Yeah, I should show that to my kids. I doubt they still watch that in school.
Yeah, I meant to ask my mom and I didn't, but I'll report back next week if they still do it. There's no way.
They probably don't watch that. They probably don't watch Bill Nye, although he's still relevant.
Oh my God, I watched so much Bill Nye.
So much. Bill.
I would get so excited when it was Bill Nye Day at school.
The best.
Yes, we get to watch Bill Nye.
So good. All right. That's it for the end.
That's it for the end then. Just a quick one.
Yep.
To the now?
To the now. Okay, so the now, we're going to rapid fire these, starting with the Golden Globes.
Oh, yes.
Which are now probably like a week back. But a few things that I want to talk about. I thought there was some great fashion. Did you see any of it?
Yes, obviously all over social media. I didn't watch the full Golden Globes.
I didn't either.
But social media gives me all I need to know.
Yeah. So I thought I really liked Barry Keoghan, who we'll talk about later.
Oh, yes, we shall.
He was wearing this red checker, like mixed print. Like they were both checkered, but they were different mismatched. He had lots of accessories. I thought he looked really fake tanned.
I thought he looked a little orange.
It was weird.
He looked a little orange
but his outfit was fire. That was my best dressed.
Yes.
Florence Pugh was great. Her nipples were out.
Hello. She
had that short blonde hair.
They were popping. The nips were out.
Yep, they were out.
And free the nips, I guess.
Free them, baby. Kristen Wiig.
She looked so good.
Oh my gosh.
She looked so
somebody
good.
was talking shit on her and it's like, shut up.
No, she looked great.
Yeah, she looked great. Her and Will Ferrell were hilarious together. They need to make a movie together. Taylor Swift looked incredible.
Oh, I love that green on her.
Yes.
I love the sparkly green.
Sparkly green.
And just like she's always does like simple hair and makeup, which I just appreciate.
I love that it was at least like fixed because I feel like she hasn't been fixing it a lot lately.
Yeah. It's been very like tussled and it was definitely fixed, but it was
more
simple.
Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
She looked great.
Beautiful. Joe Coy. Yikes.
Big yikes.
I will say I watched his entire monologue.
That's who hosted, by the way.
That's who hosted. He supposedly, according to the internet, bombed. Now, he had some funny jokes.
He had a couple here and there.
They weren't all terrible. But when he said the word boobies
about
the Barbie movie.
Why are you saying the word boobies at all?
One.
Number two, especially about the Barbie movie, which is all about like women empowerment.
Yeah. Like, have you been paying attention to the conversation? Clearly you have not.
No.
Such low-hanging fruit. Not to...
Not a booby joke.
Not on Barbie. They ain't low-hanging. It's just like, come on, man. Like, try harder. You can talk shit on the Barbie movie. There's so many other jokes you could have made. Yeah. Talk shit on the Barbie movie all you want. Like, make jokes about it. But boobies, come on.
Just don't say the word boobies.
No. And then the audience was just like, you dead.
Yeah, no. There were no smiles in the house.
So he made the very obvious joke about them showing Taylor Swift less than the NFL. Taylor Swift was not amused.
She took a little sippy sip of her drinky drink.
Sip of her drink. But at that point, he had lost the crowd, and he especially had lost, girl power queen, our mother, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to laugh at your jokes anymore, dude.
No. Well, no one was laughing.
If you have to say it's okay to laugh,
I felt bad.
I didn't write these jokes. I had to watch it on 1.5.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I only watched clips, and that was enough for me. I was like, cringe.
Yeah, so cringe. And then the last thing I wanted to say, and if y'all have not watched this video, I might even put it in the show notes because it's so good. Did you see the video of Brie Larson on the red carpet?
No.
Fangirling over J-Lo?
No, but I love it.
It is the cutest thing. Like, J-Lo was her inspiration for getting into acting.
Aww.
And she comes up right behind her and is walking up the steps to talk to the interviewer. And Brie Larson is like, I actually can't. No, I can't. I'm going to cry. And then, of course, the interviewer's like, come over here. And she, starts to tear up. Her mom is at the bottom of the steps and she's like, oh my God, is that Jennifer Lopez?
Oh my God.
And she's like, this is my mom. Like, she knows that this is why I got into acting.
So cute.
And they're just so sweet. She's like, I'm such a fan of yours. They both said that to each other and they hugged. Cute. Oh, it is the cutest little 2-minute video. So I'll put that in the show notes so people can go watch it.
Love it.
So that was the Golden Globes. Normally I don't really care about the Golden Globes, but it felt like there was a lot of moments.
There's some little things.
Next item for the now is Ariana Madix is finally suing who shall not be named Tom Scandival. To get the fuck out of her house.
Yeah. She's trying to make him sell it, and he won't sell it. He wants to buy it from her.
Yes.
So she's suing him to make it happen.
She's suing him, and good for her. About time. And then finally, we said we were going to watch it. Did you watch it?
I skimmed it.
Yeah, The Golden Wedding.
I watched it, but I skimmed it.
Good for them.
Good for them. All of Bachelor Nation was there. Like, so you don't watch Bachelor, so
no, but that I knew who the characters were. I knew who the person was. Braden with the
oh yeah, I wasn't even talking about
earring.
him. I meant like all the old school people were there too. Like everyone.
I recognized the names and faces of a few of them, but I recognized him and that wild moment where he proposed to his girlfriend from another season.
Yes,
it's just whatever.
He's like, I'm gonna get engaged on TV and get us some more following. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Sponsors.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
what I'm thinking.
But no, the wedding was beautiful.
Yeah.
Susan did a great job. Of course, it's her job.
Yeah.
And Kathy was hilarious hosting.
Hilarious.
So funny. I can't believe how much we've come around on Kathy.
Yeah, because I think I hated her for a few
we
weeks.
really
I was hating on
detested
her.
Yeah, and now she's fabulous. So I thought it was great. It was beautiful. Good for them. Yeah.
Happy for y'all.
Happy for y'all.
Okay. Next up, I want to talk about Hottie McHotterson. Jeremy Allen White. Did you see his Calvin Klein ad?
I did. I did not see his belly button.
it was hidden in a few of the photos.
It was so tiny.
That's not what I was looking at.
The doctors cut it with like little cuticle scissors. It was boring.
It was hidden in some of the photos, but he does have a belly button. Can confirm.
He never thought that he was hot until now.
Okay, so it's interesting because I obviously watched him as Lip on Shameless.
Right.
And you just love Lip's character, right?
Okay.
It's not that Jeremy Allen White was hot, but you fell in love with Lip, the character.
Gotcha.
Like everyone's favorite is Lip, you know? So I loved Lip.
I believe you.
You never watched it?
No.
You don't have to. It's okay. I won't make it. It's 10 seasons, so I wouldn't.
I've seen clips or whenever Nate was watching it live, and I was like, it's not for me.
It's a lot, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
So I grew up, but I watched him grow up on Shameless, just loving his character.
Right.
And then when did he get so attractive?
I mean, I did watch a few episodes of The Bear.
Me too. I think I watched the first couple, and I was like, this is too much.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef. Too much anxiety for me in The Bear.
Right.
I was like, this is too much for me. I'd have to be in the right mindset, I think, to sit down and watch it. But it was a lot of anxiety. Yeah. But yeah, his Calvin Klein ad, he looked good.
So good.
He looked so good. And then it made me think about other Calvin Klein ads that just burned in my brain, like the old Nick Jonas and the old Marky Mark, obviously. Classic. Yeah. Those two were
Brad Pitt, right?
That one's not burned in my brain. I think he did it, but
and Calvin Klein.
Oh, here we go. Back to the perfume commercials. But yeah, so he looked amazing, and it made me, and I don't know if I've talked about this, but I'm going to say it again if I already have. I want to watch the movie that he's in with Zac Efron.
Oh yeah, I think we did talk about
the wrestling movie.
Yeah.
Why can't I? The Iron
Claw.
Yeah, the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I want to see it so bad. So that's on my list to watch soon.
Is it streaming?
I think it's streaming.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to watch it because I'm dying to see it. Apparently it's amazing, but it's also rip your heart out. So
yikes.
Yeah.
Gotta be in the right mindset for that one too.
Also gotta be in the right mindset. But I need to call out how good he looked in that.
Absolutely.
And then one other small thing that just irked me.
Oh.
They're doing a Glee reboot.
So I saw this as a line item. I had not heard that on your notes that you sent me. And when you just started that sentence, I did not expect you to make that face. I thought you were going to be like excited about it.
I don't do reboots.
Oh, she doesn't do reboots.
Well, we've talked about this, Robin. They're going to redo Harry Potter.
Yeah, not everything needs to be reboot.
And the Glee.
Oh yeah, I forgot I said that. Sometimes things can just be boot.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm not happy because while Glee was problematic in its ways,
right?
It's a show that I hold near and dear to my heart that I've seen multiple times, and they don't need a reboot. And James Corden is going to be Mr. Shoe.
What?
Yes.
I was going to say, I bet, who do we think on the cast is going to come back as, the new teacher?
Oh, none of them. It's James Corden.
Oh, God.
I'm not about it. I will not be watching.
I thought not canceled, but I thought he was light canceled. Canceled light.
Well, they've got him as freaking Mr. Shoe on Glee, and I'm not happy about it.
But isn't Mr. Shoe, the actor, still kicking?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just bring him back? He's still there.
No, they're going to redo the whole show. The first one never happened. Like Harry Potter, they're redoing the whole thing.
Okay, that's just bizarre. They should have it be at the same school. No, it's this many years later. Mr. Shue's still there.
No, it's not like a sequel.
He's thinking about retiring because his glory days are gone because they all grew up or passed away, God forbid, R.I.P.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's, about ready to give up, and then the new class comes in and they're that people would have loved. But James Corden.
I could have gotten behind that, but I can't get behind this. It's just a whole they're redoing the whole thing. James Corden as Mr. Shoe.
Not that Mr. Shoe is the most lovable character. Let's just say
he has problem again. But Glee was problematic.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I hold it near and dear to my heart, and I don't need a freaking reboot.
No.
Okay, I'll get off my soapbox.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
I don't even know.
Is it The Rex?
Yes.
Okay, to The Rex.
To The Rex. Okay, my rec.
I'm shaking my head already.
Is the movie on Amazon Prime Video called Saltburn, baby. I made Kaley watch it so that she would have something to add to this conversation. Kaley, why don't you go ahead and share with us your thoughts on Saltburn?
I'm not even sure if I know how to talk about this film right now. Disturbing comes to mind. Why on some things comes to mind.
My review is just why.
Okay, let me get into it a little bit.
Okay.
I appreciate the cinematography of it all. The way it's shot. It's trying to sound really sophisticated.
That is like the most like
I appreciate
cliche. Like I hated the movie. Cinematography.
Okay, I didn't hate the movie. Okay. I liked the way it was shot.
Okay, you heard it here first. Kaley did not hate Saltburn. So those of you who've been on the fence, Little Miss never says the F word. Liked Saltburn.
No, I didn't say I liked it.
Oh, she didn't not like it.
I just didn't say I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I liked it, except for the stuff that I felt was just extremely unnecessary. Like, what did it really add to the story? And I'm not going to get into it because I can't even talk about it because my face is already turning red thinking about these scenes. Robin, it didn't add to the story.
I think it did because it showed the unbridled, like, desire and, like, passion for something that most people, and I'm not going to lie, I watched several interviews about this, so I might be taking some ideas from them, but I agree. And I thought the director, Emerald, I can't think of her last name right now. She played, who's the other, Camilla on The Crown?
Yes.
And maybe she wasn't even the one that said it. It might have been the actress who plays Venetia. That it's like stuff that no one would ever do, but like if you didn't have that filter, she said it way differently, so I feel comfortable saying it. Let me start over. It showed like the things that people will do when they do not filter their desires of like, I'm just going to do what I want to do right in this moment, what feels right, what's going to get me what I want, whatever that is. And obsession, like desire and obsession and passion, and just he's a special one. Very well acted though.
Oh no, acting was great.
Yeah.
Again, I like the story of the obsession with him, the obsession with the power, the obsession with the rich family life. Like I'm in it. I get it. I like it. For me, it took away from the movie for me.
So we have the bathtub scene, which we won't describe, but that one I think was pretty jarring.
You don't need the slurp of it all. I'm sorry, Robin, you don't.
I think you do.
No, you don't.
How do they show him doing that without the slurp?
It did not need to be that much.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It didn't need to be that much.
Yeah.
I think you do it just for the shock factor of it all, and it's unnecessary. That's my opinion on it.
I just appreciated the twists and turns. Like, I did not see so many things coming outside of those shocking moments. Just like the sequence of events when things start to really pick up, I was just like,
I really liked the end where they flashed everything back of all the little things he did.
You said flashed.
Oh, no, not that. We haven't even gotten to that yet. I'm talking about when they flashed back to all the little things
to show how he had.
I like that. Again, Robin, I am with you on this, but I just didn't feel like we needed the slurp.
Yeah.
We didn't need the
grave.
Ant flow disgusting. We didn't
need the vampire.
We didn't need the vampire. We didn't need the flipping grave.
Yep. Oh. I don't want to spoil it too much. But did you hear
that was improvised?
Well, not necessarily. So he wasn't supposed to go that far. And then he was like, I don't know, like I kind of want to maybe try something. Can we do a close set? And so it was like just like 4 people, and it was the director who said, I think in this moment he would unzip. And that's when he was like, okay, let's do a close set. I think he would unzip too. So he had been thinking about it, but it was actually the director who.
I just don't think we needed it. You could have stopped it at him.
They could have pulled away. They could have.
Oh God.
They could have cut that scene pretty quickly, but the director talks about it like they needed to like stay in that moment because he's such a good actor.
He was,
and it was so
acting was amazing.
It was so like I can't stop using raw.
Oh God.
And real that she couldn't bring it in herself to yell cut.
That's fine. I just didn't like it. Like this is my own personal opinion. Again, like we're gonna disagree on this. Yeah. I'm disagreeing with you wholeheartedly on I didn't think it was necessary, but I liked the other aspects of the movie.
Without those, would you have been like, that was a great movie?
I would have said it was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was very well made.
I would have said it was a really good movie.
Great writing, great acting, great directing. I don't think it would be getting as much attention if it weren't for those moments.
That's why I think you put it in there, because it's a shock factor and it gets people talking. So in that regard, I guess I have to respect that that's what you're doing.
Because it's unique. Like nobody else is doing that.
It's just disturbing. And it like for me, I don't want to watch a movie where it's like, oh God.
There was times where I was like
I want to be able to watch.
Peeping through my fingers.
I want to watch the movie. Like, I don't want to be like, oh my God, I can't even look at this. Like, this is so gross. My stomach hurts. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that.
I know.
Sorry.
When I was like, you're going to have to watch Saltburn, I was like, oh God, she's not going to like those parts. But I wanted you to be able to take part in the conversation.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it on my recommend list, but it's on yours, so that's fine. Yeah. We're going to disagree, but...
Are you mad at me for making you watch it?
No. Okay, I was already, like, it was already because it is so talked about. Like, I was like, God, I should probably watch this, but I didn't know exactly what the situation was.
I didn't know either. All I knew was bathtub and grave.
That I knew bathtub, grave, and Aunt Flo.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and full frontal. I knew that.
Oh, yeah, the full... So good for him. Good for him, by the way.
We'll talk about that in a second. I knew, like, I knew that... But I did not know the extent. I did not know exactly what to expect. And for me, it was just a little much. Maybe I'm a prude, but like, it was too much for me.
It was a lot. I don't think it wasn't too much for me. It definitely, I was like, oh God, I can't watch. But like, I get it, I guess. But I thought about it a lot the next day of just like, oh my gosh, like the character and his arc and where it started and where it ended, and the second bathtub. I'm still a little confused on the second bathtub.
I want to ask you what you think the message of the movie is, because I'm a little confused on what the message of the movie is.
I'm not sure it has a message other than just like when you can have such unbridled, all those things that I said, as well as the desire for status, and you combine all those together and you're a master manipulator, like you can get what you want. Like it just shows this character that was completely, looked over, glossed over in society, decided to make up this lie, decided to get into this family's, good graces, and he just became obsessed. I don't think there's really a message outside of just like a really interesting, compelling, unique story.
Okay. Yeah. I guess for me, it was like, is it more he's obsessed with like the power in the family, or was he more obsessed with Jacob Elordi's?
I think at first it was that.
That's what I think.
And then
too.
Once he realized that he couldn't have Jacob Elordi,
evolved over time to like, oh, now I just want this status. I want this life.
I'm trying not to spoil, but after like the parents' moment,
yes,
he realized that ship had sailed, and it unhinged him in a way that none of us saw coming. I did not know. I kind of am glad that I didn't look up anything about this movie, because that's something I tend to do. I won't spoil it for myself, but I'll watch the trailer. I'll look at the IMDb summary. I'll look at people's comments. And I just decided to go in this one really only knowing there's a couple of really twisted scenes. Just the twists and turns.
Again, Robin, I would have said it was a really good movie if they wouldn't have like grossed me out so much.
Yeah.
And then, the full frontal at the end. Again, I go back to...
He did not want to do that, by the way.
Was that necessary?
He was originally supposed to just walk through the house because it's him.
No. He could have done that in his underwear, danced around, and would have had the same... This guy is so proud of what he's done.
Not after you're rocking out with your cock out the whole movie.
You barely saw it until the end when you had to watch it a lot.
But you can tell he uses his manipulation through... sexuality
definitely
to get his way, because he did it with Venetia, and he did it with other guy, and he did it with other guy,
Farley.
And so I'm not gonna spoil anything, but so it's really like the only thing that he needs to just like let it all out and just be like, this is my house. I can walk around butt ass naked. I can dance around butt ass naked if I want to.
Would have been fine with some little tush. I can deal with the tush.
Yeah.
I can deal with the flash of the full frontal. I don't need to see that thing.
You know what I thought of?
Swinging. You know what
I thought of? I got a surprise for you.
Like, yes, exactly. I don't need it going like that.
Giving us the helicopter.
Like, I don't need the helicopter.
I don't need the helicopter.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a prude, but I didn't need it.
It was a lot.
It was a lot for me.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's a lot for him too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The ratio is astonishing.
He's a short little guy.
He is a little dude.
Yeah, anyway.
So I am
Robin.
recommending it. Just now you know some spoilers if you haven't seen it. But even though we still kind of talked about the ending and all that fun stuff, it's still worth the watch. I don't think I'll watch it again. I might.
Oh, I will never.
If someone is at my house, like let's say that my friend Holly comes over, which I guarantee you she's seen it. But if she hadn't, and it was just me and her at girls' night, she's watched all the movies.
Night? That's what you want to watch?
Well, because she watches all the movies. So we had nothing else to watch, and I was like, "Have you seen Saltburn?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Do you want to?" She was like, "Not really." I'd probably convince her to watch it just so I could sit next to her and watch her watch it and see her reaction.
Robin is just liking
I'm just a sick freak.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Like, who wants to come over for a movie night?
For real. And like that for me is not, I'm like, oh, girls' night, this is the one.
Right. Yeah, normally we watch rom-coms, but it would be funny
That's
to watch
way
her
more
reaction.
up my alley.
Who else do I know that wants to come watch movies?
You let me know if you convince anyone else and what their thoughts are. I can't be alone in this.
No.
I can't be.
I think you're definitely in the majority here.
Okay.
That's enough about that.
Okay, we're gonna move on to my rec.
Okay.
I told y'all, I've teased it probably on 90% of the episodes that I was gonna talk about the challenge. So my rec is the MTV's The Challenge. Every season has different names, themes, all the things, but all of the episodes or almost all of the seasons are on Paramount Plus. So if you have a Paramount Plus login, there are a few seasons on Netflix as well, but only a few. But most of them are on Paramount Plus, so you can go back and watch. This show is a reality competition show. Started like
20 years ago?
1998 is when it started. Was the first Road Rules season. I'm not suggesting that you go back and start from season 1 because
it's hard to watch shows that are
they're old
because of the quality.
No. I would start somewhere in the more modern era of the challenge.
That show is 26 years old.
Yeah, I'm watching season 39 live as we speak.
That's crazy.
So I would start between like 16 and 20.
Yeah.
It would be like where I'd start to like really get the modern characters that are, a lot of them are still on it today.
Right.
And like production value is a lot better. Competition's a lot better, all that. So I'd start around there if you want to give it a shot.
Is that like around when TJ started being the host?
No, TJ was even way before that.
Oh, wow.
TJ's been the host for almost all of the seasons.
Yeah. Remember when he had that terrible accent?
TJ Lavin, who is a professional X Games skateboarder, I think.
Bicyclist?
I think he does multiple events.
Okay.
He's the host. He's been the host for almost all the seasons. And oh God, how long ago was this? 10 years ago when he had
It's gotta be more.
15 years ago, he had a major accident at competing at one of the X Games events.
Like ripped his face off.
Yeah, like brain damage.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know if we'll ever like get him back, if he'll ever be able to walk again. So he comes out, and I've watched the season of the challenge multiple times. It's Rivals. Rivals 1. He comes out in like the dome, which is like the elimination arena.
I was watching this one live.
And he literally, walks out and he looks kind of jacked up. Like he's still messed up. And everyone is like crying, all the contestants, because they thought
he had some major reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
But they did a pretty good job considering.
He looks normal now.
Yeah.
He looks great now. He's hosting the season I'm watching right now.
He's a good-looking dude.
He's a handsome man, great fashion. But anyway, he walks out in the elimination arena and all the contestants are teared up. They just thought he was never going to come back to host.
Yeah.
And he's like friends with a lot of these people
in
real life. So it's cool. I recommend this because it's got a little bit of everything that you would want. It's got the reality TV drama. It's got competition because they've got a daily challenge that they do, and then they have the elimination, right? And you have to vote people in, so you get the drama. So it started out pulling people from The Real World, which is a show where they stick,
and Road Rules.
And Road Rules, yeah.
Wasn't the first one?
It was just Road
Rules versus.
The first season is just Road Rules.
Road Rules, okay.
And then it was Real World versus Road Rules. But the Real World is where they just stick like, 10 strangers in a house to live together for a summer, and there's a bunch of drama. Well, they were pulling people from different seasons, and that's how they started MTV's The Challenge.
And they let them drink a lot of alcohol, and they get into a lot of brawls.
And this is the best part about The Challenge is it's just drama and fights and partying. Like you get it again, you get a little bit of everything, but it's also badass competition.
The competitions, talk about adrenaline.
Oh my God. They're dropping out of helicopters in the water. They're having to run a 20-mile race while having to eat gross things along the way.
Ugh.
Puzzles. Like it has everything that you would want in a competition show, plus all the reality TV drama that we all know and love.
It's great.
So I think 10 out of 10 recommend.
Do you think you'd be good at the puzzles?
Yes. I have my brain just like sees things in that way where I could look at a shape like a tanagram or whatever and I could easily put the pieces.
I'm really good at math. I think I'd like to think that I am, but I'm a good test taker. And I was like, talented and gifted, tag in school. Math, like in my head is not great, but I feel like under pressure, I could that's the thing is that.
These a lot of people, you'll see how they react because you're under pressure in these challenges, especially in like the finals. And it's like some people just freeze up. Like it's just like they can't, their brain just.
It's that test taker mentality of like, even if you've done all the studying, all the whatever, you get into that mode and everything just shuts down. That's when my shit lights up. I'm like, how the hell did I know that?
I know. I think I would do really, really well at the puzzles.
Yeah.
Because
the physical stuff, I don't know.
Well, the physical stuff, you have to be in another section of like physicality that you need.
Not only in shape, but just like to not be paralyzed by fear.
Yeah.
Even though like, you're not going to, but did you die?
A lot of people get injured.
Yeah.
You'll see if you start watching this that there's injuries every season because what they do is hardcore. And so I talked about last episode CT. That's going to be on Traitors season 2. And he is my all-time favorite from the challenge. Chris Tamburillo is his real name.
Very polarizing character.
So in the early seasons, you love him and you hate him because he's a Boston douche cake. At the beginning, he's a player. He's a ladies' man. Until he meets who I think is the love of his life, which he says is the love of his life.
Yeah.
DM is her name, and she's on multiple seasons of the challenge. They dated in real life. She's like the sweetest soul. So fun. Loves to dance. Just everyone loves her. He meets her on the challenge. They fall in love. They date in real life. When she showed up on the challenge, her first season was Fresh Meat, which is where they have like OG challengers and they bring in random people from the street and pair them up.
Yeah.
And so they bring in DM. She's just a random person. Right. And she talks about how she is going through like chemo and radiation for ovarian cancer.
Yeah.
So she beats it, right? And then she beats it again. And she's coming back to the challenge. Like she's doing a challenge and she's going to do her treatments. And then she's coming back to the challenge. It's wild. Like the strength of this woman. And then they're on. So like I said, they have themes. So there's like rivals where you're paired up with a rival. There's exes where you're paired up with an ex. So her and CT, they break up, right? She's on Exes, Battle of the Exes 3 with CT. They're paired up. And she starts getting sick.
I watched this
and they show it on the show, like that she's not doing well. And everyone's like, oh my God.
I'm like,
oh no, I know.
So freaking sad.
No, I've cried too many times with this. Story just kills me. So she leaves the show and CT's like, I'm leaving with her. CT goes to the hospital and she gets ovarian cancer came back a third time. And he proposes in the hospital. Like they're not even together, but like he goes to the hospital, spends time there. As she's not doing well, he proposes. She's like, I don't want to marry you like this. And she ends up dying. She ends up passing away. And it is about the saddest thing ever.
So sad.
It's so sad. But CT just, you can tell like he just goes soft with her. He went soft with her. He was always so soft with her. Yeah. And he is just like a beast.
And he is like the biggest hothead. I mean, you think about
you love and
Mike and Bananas. Like there's other, Mike,
Are you talking about Mike the Miz?
The Miz, yeah. Like they were such strong, like masculine personalities, but he was the biggest hothead of all.
Oh,
like when he would go off, like
awful.
You better duck and cover.
He will kill you.
He will rip your head.
It's like something takes
your
over
body
his,
and then like
eat it.
Rip your nose off.
He says
with his teeth.
I'm gonna rip his head off and eat it. Like something comes over his.
Does he really say that
in an old season?
I'm like, did I just pull that out of my memory?
No, like an old season to Adam.
Wow, that's so weird.
It might be Rivals.
I didn't even know that I was quoting him. That's what you think of when you think of Angry CT.
Angry CT is
Watch
wild.
out.
It was like a whole nother beast would take over. But then he calmed down a lot in these more recent seasons once he got older and grew up. Because, they all start in their young 20s. Everyone's a hothead.
Probably were taking steroids.
But still, he's like 41, 42 now. And he is still a beast. He's still, so the season I'm watching right now is season 39, and it's the battle for a new champion. So it's all people that have been on seasons, but they've never won. They've been on multiple seasons.
Are you watching this on Peacock?
I'm watching it
or
on
Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus every week. Or I'm watching it actually live on TV every week.
How far along is it?
Probably about,
like, can I catch up?
I mean, I think I'm on like episode 14.
Ooh, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. So it's battle for a new champion. So it's all these people.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
There we go. My rec worked already.
Yes.
But they have to beat a champion in an elimination to stay in the game.
Oh, yeah. The eliminations are always just wild.
So they bring in a champ. They bring in someone that has won the challenge before.
Is it someone who's beat them?
No, it's just a champion is brought in every week for the elimination, and they have to beat the champion to stay in the game.
What if the champion beats them? Do they get to enter the game?
No. If the champion beats them, they get to steal $10,000 out of their prize pot.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very good.
So CT, they've teased that he's coming in to compete. He hasn't come in yet this season. But like, that's the one person you don't want to draw for an event.
Yeah.
Besides CT being just like, I love him and polarizing and hothead, but loves DM and all this loveliness. He is a beast at the competition. Like,
so good.
He's in the GOAT conversation.
Oh, for
Technically, it's Johnny Bananas because he has 7 championship wins.
But if you look at the actual like head-to-head eliminations,
it's CT.
Yeah,
it's CT.
You do not want to be staring him down. Across that little field or gauntlet or whatever you want to call it.
Right, and Johnny Bananas is on this season of The Traitors too. So like, it's just gonna be
them together is gonna be interesting because I feel like they've all obviously like had their clashes, but it doesn't matter even if you're like rivals with someone. Like they've got to be buds.
They're buds
because they've been friends for 25 years and these things. But you get into this challenge mode again. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Who's
going to be a traitor?
Who's going to be, at least at first. I feel like one of them is going to be a traitor at first. Probably Bananas because he's more likable.
No, he's not.
Like with new people, like coming out being all like.
I think CT is more likable.
But if they don't know him though. Oh, wait, these are not, there's no normies.
There's no normies.
Never mind. Yeah. I feel like, okay, so maybe they do CT first.
Nanners is more of a villain than CT is because he's.
Oh, see, I don't know. I'm more so.
Let me zip my mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Before I start,
let me bleep that out.
Yeah.
So maybe they have CT, and then at one point he like brings
Nanners in. Oh God, I can't decide who I think is going to be because
there's so many good strategic.
Parvati from freaking Survivor. She's like a flirtatious like queen. Like they could make her a traitor. I don't know who they're going to choose. How do you choose between CT and Bananas? And there's no way they put them both.
I'm showing my feet on camera, and let me just
can't have the dogs out.
Not me wearing sandals in the winter from Five Below.
Cannot be putting the dogs out, Robin.
Sorry about you.
Yeah, My Wreck is a challenge. It's amazing. They did a documentary. I think this was like 2 years ago where they did like behind the scenes of the challenge. And they had like all the greats on, all the old people. They had some producers come in and talk about it.
Okay, I'm going to look that one up too. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, so good, Robin. And CT was on there and they asked him about, I just got chills. They asked him about DM and he has to like walk away. Like he starts to tear up and he's so macho, So he's like, I can't talk about this. And he just like talks about it like very vaguely. Like even on the later seasons after she passes away, like one season, and I can't remember which one it was, her like anniversary of her death comes up while he's on the season and he just like shuts down that day and like he won't talk about it because at that point, let me just give you a little tea on CT's life. He was married to someone else, but it hits him on the show and he's like so upset, but he won't talk about it in respect of his new wife.
Right.
They're not together anymore. Because again, DM was the love of his life and he says it.
Of course. I mean, everybody can see it.
I
love behind the scenes stuff though.
That documentary is really, really
definitely
good.
Want to check that out.
Really, really
for
good.
sure.
Okay, I know that was a long rec, but I needed to give y'all some context.
It's all right.
So if anyone watches it out there, please comment because I would love to know because I'm watching it 39 seasons later.
Yeah.
And I still will go back and watch some of the old seasons. The best ones, if y'all are just like, oh, I'll try a random season, Battle of the Exes and Rivals.
Yeah.
Any of those seasons, y'all will be in it.
Yeah, I watched both of those.
Do you think you could be paired up with like a rival or an ex and do well? Because some of these people
I think crumble. A rival, yes. The ones with the exes, that's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's entertaining as all
it is.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Good TV.
All right.
All right. I think that about wraps it up for us here. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for listening. All the places.
Yes. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
Yep. If you liked this, please go follow us and subscribe in all those places. Give us a comment. Give us a review with some comments. It really helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.